so proud of you and what you're doing. This system that you have devised, everybody needs, hands down, everybody. And we'll let the listeners understand what it is by, you telling the story. I'm jumping out of my skin because of this, what you've done. I really am. And I have to tell you a story about something that happened to me today. So I really need you. So welcome to our show. And please introduce yourself more and tell your story. And let's talk about your Answer Sure, please.
Okay, thank you. As Lisa said, my name is Gogie Padilla, and I am the CEO of Answer Sure. We are a phone service that helps prevent scams. We have the utility on both landlines. Yes, they still exist. There are millions of landlines still out there operating. People are using it. And we have an app also that we use for Android and iOS mobile devices. What is Answer Sure? Let's start with how it began. Several years ago, my mom, who's in her 80s, lives on her own, very independent, lives in Brooklyn, New York. I'm a Brooklynite. And
Brooklyn in the house.
Thank you. She called me. I was working and she called me very upset. Mm-hmm. She said that someone came to her door and was in the guise of a bank representative. She thought it was a bank representative. Anyway, long story short, we were fortunate. She did not get harmed in any way. It was really, it wasn't her time because another family member was coming up to see her and ushered that person away, a man, away from her door. The gentleman came in as he was from her bank. That's what he said. And he was there to pick up her ATM card.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this just didn't happen out of the blue. She had been getting calls, and these calls were over a series of months. And every call, you get a bit of information. That information these scammers use, and they were able to get her address, her apartment number, her bank. They had the correct bank. So it really put my whole family on high alert. And I knew that something had to be done. I went in search of any device or service that could become a barrier. I did not want to put the responsibility of not giving information or giving information on my mom. It was past that now.
Yes.
So I was looking for a barrier. The barrier, I could not find a service. And that was the birth of Answer Sure. Answer Sure is a barrier for landlines. That's how I started it. The service was for my mom only. It really wasn't the idea wasn't a business proposition. It was a personal family protection proposition. And what the service does for landlines, and we have two plans. We have a representative plan. We have an automated plan. The representative plan, in short, is calls come in to your line. They are vetted. There's a secondary line that needs to be gotten, for lack of a better word. You need to secure.
So you have to have two lines.
You need to have two lines. You need to secure the secondary line. So that secondary line helps Answer Sure, the representative at the call center. The calls come in on your phone. It goes to Answer Sure. Your phone is forwarded to Answer Sure. The call center picks up the line, says, "Hello, I'm looking to speak to Mrs. H. Do you have the password for Mrs. H? If you have the password, that second line is what brings the vetted call to ring on the person's phone. If the person does not have that code, a message is taken in the representative plan, and the call does not go through. I can tell you from my mom, originally doing her service, there was a day early on when we put the service on that she had 39 calls in one day.
Gosh. So she was a target.
She was
a target.
Exactly, Lisa. Exactly. Every time we pick up the phone, we become a target.
Yeah, yeah. And I love this service, and I'm definitely signing up. I already told you that. I'm getting it hands down, because I have to tell you, something happened to me today.
Okay.
My phone rings, and it looked like there was a name that was familiar. I said, I don't know all of the names in my phone, but it looked like a familiar name. So I said, I better answer it. It didn't say scam or spam. What it comes up now is typically spam, right? A spam call.
Yeah.
And so this came up as a name. So I answered it like I always do. And it wasn't up that long pause that usually happens. And I typically hang up the phone when it's that long pause, because it's got to be some kind of a scam, phone scam. So the person actually said, I have a call for you, and it's from whatever the person's name is, and I'll transfer you. And I said, okay. So I said, what is this all about? So this gentleman answers the phone, and he says, oh, wait, sorry, missed a big part. A recording came on and said, we have withdrawn $900 from your checking account. The biggest part I left out. We have withdrawn $900 from your checking account.
Yes.
Per your my permission, right? From something.
Yes.
And I said, and I could barely hear what they were talking about. I was like, 900. Nobody withdraws $900 from my account. I don't have anything like that withdrawn from my account.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I know this is a scam now. Let me press 1. So I pressed 1, and that's when this guy came on the phone. He says, oh, yes. Do you not remember that you signed up for something from my computer? I said, okay. I said, you know what? I'll call you back later tonight. How's that? I'll call you later tonight.
Yes.
Ridiculous. I was like, this is insane. But my bank account, if I didn't know any better, I could, I know he wasn't taking $900 out of my account, but this guy got me on the phone. I literally pressed 1, had a person on the phone talking to me about a service that I signed up for. I signed up for this service, and he says, don't you remember that you signed up for this? I couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I'm talking to you tonight.
What they did and how they got you to answer that phone is called spoofing. That is basically, your phone will ring, and it will have a phone number that's either familiar to you, maybe from your area. It may have a name that you recognize. So you pick up the phone with confidence because you think that's the person. The scammers are slick. They're slick. And
how does that, not how, I mean, I can't fathom how they're doing things like this, and they're actually taking money, extorting money from people. That's what it is, right?
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line.
In 2021, 40 billion American dollars were stolen from people in this country.
What?
40 billion in 2021.
And this is not just senior citizens, because
no, it's not. I'm glad you said that.
I mentioned to you before that I've heard conversations, younger people, right? Conversations, they'll answer the phone in my family, and I'm listening to the way they're responding, and I'm going, oh my gosh, no, don't give them any information. Don't say anything. Let them talk, and then find out who they are exactly. Take their information, take their phone number, and call them back. 9 times out of 10, they'll hang up the phone. You'll get, a disconnected number.
Right.
And I mean, I've had IRS call. This is the IRS. And you need to call us right now, or give us $50,000, or blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's amazing what goes on. And I'm sure there are people who, I mean, you've experienced this. This is your business.
Yes.
People who fall prey to this every single day.
Absolutely. They say the vulnerable. Yes.
Aren't we all?
Yes, we are vulnerable at times. We live busy lives. And I myself have picked up the phone when I definitely know, I should look first, right? There are demographics of our society that are more vulnerable than others, but we are all vulnerable. And scammers, they do not discriminate. They go after anyone and everyone. So Answer Sure is a tool. It's a tool to help
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is very exciting to me that you have this prevention, this barrier, as you call it, because we all do need it. You know, I'm busy. My phone's ringing, and it did look like a client, could have been a client, and I have to answer if it's a client. And but had I been super busy and really not paying attention, I mean, I could have hit a number and given them permission to go in my account, right?
That's right.
Because
Absolutely.
they have these connections.
Absolutely.
How they get this is beyond me.
I don't think, let's put it this way. Very, very rarely do scammers ever get caught.
Isn't that something?
So their technology is leaps and bounds ahead of you know, I won't say the FBI, but many agencies, the scammers technology is just so far ahead. And it's getting better and better all the time. That's why for me and my situation with my mother, a barrier was the optimal thing I needed to do. I needed to not have them connect with her at all.
I'm amazed that you did this. I really am. I mean, you took the steps and you built a business out of it because you know that there's a need. You know, there's definitely need for it. So you mentioned it's just so that the listeners can understand better about what this is. So we sign up. You have a website, and please say that out loud.
Yes.
www.answersure,
ANSWERSURE.com.
So when they go to answersure.com, there's a subscription plan, correct? You tell us how do you walk us through that?
Okay.
Website part.
On our website, and I would suggest anyone interested go to our website. It's very informative. But we do, when you're ready to sign up, we have a form that needs to be filled out. Once that form is filled out and it's sent to us at AnswerSure, you will receive a call from AnswerSure. At that point, you will give AnswerSure your password that you have chosen for when the system has been placed on your phone. Either a password, I'm talking about landlines now, a password, or if you do, that's for the representative plan, the numeric plan, which is the automated plan, you would give a numeric code. Once you do that, you would transfer your phone to the AnswerSure call center. And that is done, it's every phone is different, but 3 or 4 buttons and you transfer it to a new line. All that does and all that means is that callers calling your phone, the phone number, the phone call will be transferred to the AnswerSure call center. The AnswerSure representative picks up on your behalf. They ask the person who they're calling because we don't want to give any information.
Right.
So, good afternoon, AnswerSure. May I direct your call? I'd like to speak to Madeline Jones. Do you have her password? Yes. Whatever it is, the call is put through. Hold on one moment. The call is put through. The person, the actual caller, our client, pick up knowing that that call was vetted. That's ringing their phone.
That's incredible.
If they don't have, as I said, if they don't have the password for the representative plan, message is taken. And why I emphasize that is because I have a large family. There were some family members and my mom's friends that we weren't able to get to. So when they called, I had a record and I was able to call them back and say, you know what? We have a new system in place. And this is my mom's password when you want to call her. Okay. So that's what the representative plan. Automated plan is a bit different. You would sign up the same call forwarding, the same, but you will choose a numeric code that the caller has to know when they call you. They'll call your phone and then they'll hear a message. Please put in the numeric code for the person you're calling. They either know it or they don't. So either the call goes through or there's no message taken in the numeric plan, automated plan. Now, we have an app
Mhm.
And if I may,
Yes, please, everything. This is fantastic.
the app works. I'm not gonna, these apps use information that is collected of known scam numbers
Okay.
and spoofing numbers and robocall numbers. AnswerSure does the same thing. However, with AnswerSure, I can acquire the app for my uncle and my aunt, and I will pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
The app will be on their phones. They won't need to have a login or password.
Okay.
One of the main challenges for many people, not just older people, is remembering their login and passwords. So what AnswerSure has done is that there's one person, the purchaser of the app. They could have it on their phone. I could have it on my phone if I want. That's fine. But I am also purchasing the app for my aunt and uncle. The aunt and uncle will receive individually a unique code on their cell phones. That code they would have to send to me. By sending it to me, they are giving me permission to implement the app on their cell phones. That's an important piece because you can't just load things on people's phones.
That's right.
So that I get it, I put it on their phone. That's a unique, it's called remote subscribing. And remote subscribing is something that you may think you heard a lot about, but you haven't. And particularly with apps, they usually will not allow remote. And I don't know of any phone scan app that allows for remote subscribing.
So for me, I'm sorry to cut you off. So for me, so if I signed up, we got the app, right?
Yes.
So this would connect to my cell phone.
Yes.
So that it would do the same thing. It's monitoring the scam calls.
Yes.
So any scam calls would be, I guess, omitted, right?
When it will not ring your phone.
It won't ring my phone.
Exactly. Now
I need that hands down. So keep on going. So I need that because I don't have time for those scam calls, and there's so many of them happen all day. So all the spam calls would stop. Spam.
Yes.
All those would just not happen.
Well, let me qualify this because they are always creating new numbers. The scammers, the criminals, they're always creating new numbers. What I can tell you is that we use a database, and it's a company that is a dynamic. They collect scam numbers every day. So that is a very honest, it's almost a living process that grows.
Constant.
Yes.
So you're constantly grabbing these new spam numbers, right?
Exactly.
It's a constant thing. It's a constant work for you.
And well, it's the company that we use. For however, I have to qualify it that there may be one or two that comes through, but you can, with AnswerSure and with other devices as well, other apps as well, you can, you have the autonomy to put on the spoofing control, meaning you will not see numbers or calls won't get through that are similar to your cell phone number. You can put on, the call that got through, that number that got through, and you see, oh, it's spam. You could block it automatically. You can do that on your cell anyway. I understand that. But the pool of numbers that we are blocking is very large. It's in the millions. Okay. But I have to qualify it because these criminals are always seeking new numbers, creating new numbers, and it's infinite. A thing is a thing. But the app does help to relegate, and very honestly, it's like a door that closes to them. iOS and Android are the only two right now mobile devices that we can place the app on.
Okay.
If a person has an Android, they have the added benefit of blocking all calls except the calls in their contact list.
Uh-huh.
That I know. I wish we can do it on iOS. iOS is a lot more stringent,
Yes.
but for Android, yes, you can do that.
I'm so excited about this. This is great. This is great. And I promise you that the listeners out there, the viewers, are going to be as excited as I am, because everybody's getting these calls. My daughter was here earlier. Her phone is ringing. She picking up the baby, answering the phone, wasting the time doing this, and it's a scammer. It's this literally. I don't know what's happening today. What's going on today with all these calls? Literally today. I guess knowing I was going to have you on the show.
maybe, but
this is brilliant. I mean, so again, before we wrap, I want to please share your information again. Are you on social media?
Yes, we're on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Yeah, we are on all the mobile social media sites. Like I said, we have our website, www.answershore.com. We have a phone number, if I may.
Yes, please.
732-702-0010. You'll be prompt to leave a message. I go through every single message, so you'll be hearing back from me, most likely.
And Gogie, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
This is remarkable information that we all need. Regardless of age, demographic, we get these phone calls. We get scammed on a regular basis. Like you said, would you say 40 million?
40 billion.
40 billion.
2022.
Unbelievable.
Yep. That's just the United States.
In the United States alone.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much. We always want and need good information. And everybody, please get in touch. Go to AnswerSure, ANSWERSURE, spelled the right way.com. And I can't wait to see you. And I can't wait to download my app. You're going to have to walk me through that, okay?
I will, of course. I will.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being on our show. And talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.